welcome to Pick Central, Barstool's daily sports gambling show with the best sports gamblers in the entire room. It is. Y'all see what I did there?
I thought you were about to say entire world.
I was going to say something, but then I didn't. I said something else. Yeah, Andrew fixing my TV, and I like his shoes. I just want to give a shoe update for everybody. Good shoes, Andrew. There you go. Kick him up there, big guy. Here we go. We've got the NBA trade deadline to talk about. I don't know how plugged in you guys are to NBA. My shirt is popping today. The Doc Gooden shirt. That is popping. All right, we got Ben Mintz to my right. Hello, Mr. Mincy. How are you?
I'm good. The trade deadline's on my mind because all these Lonzo Ball Pelican rumors right now. That's a big thing going on.
Lonzo Ball is somebody who, when he came into the league, he was number 2 pick. I thought
he was.
I thought he was going to be an absolute star. I thought he'd be a top 10 star in the NBA by now. No, not really. Hasn't really found a home. And with the Pelicans, it made sense. You had Zion, you had Lonzo, but no, not really working out that way.
Well, I think he's been playing great the last 2 months because they moved Zion to the point forward, and so Lonzo's actually kind of turned into more of a knockdown shooter, but he's been hitting like 45% of his threes the last 2 months. I like how he's come on, but then, of course, LeVar Ball, who we thought had been silenced, came out and said Lonzo Ball hates New Orleans and wants out, and so that's what's going on right now.
Who in the world could hate New Orleans?
Well, during COVID, it's pretty shut down.
Well, yeah, everything's pretty shut down. And Big Ev, I saw that motion you made over there.
Send him to New York.
You want Lonzo Ball?
Yes,
huh?
They're saying the Bulls. The Bulls just made this big trade already with the Magic earlier. They're saying that may be setting up the Bulls trying to.
So, the trade deadline is today. We're going to break down there. We're going to get into the individual matchups in Sweet 16. Talk about the spreads. Talk about the totals. Talk about where we think that's going. We'll talk about pretty much everything. And we got the chat open. So somebody says Lonzo to New York right now. I don't know if that has happened. You might want to check it. It is the chat. You can't trust it. Big Ev has raced to his phone. And
I would actually like that too. I mean, I want him to stay with the Pelicans, but Lonzo, it's always fun to have a good point guard in the Garden. I wouldn't hate that.
I'm just ecstatic to be buyers.
Yeah, you know,
like the New York Knicks are buyers of the trade deadline.
They're trying to make moves. They're not trying to.
Let's put that in perspective. This is big stuff. Big stuff. We already got cooked out of Evan Fournier. It's in the past. I'm on to Lonzo.
What was the? I don't know if it's happened in the last couple of minutes. The Chicago-Orlando trade. What happened there?
It was like Wendell Carter, Otto Porter,
and 2 first-rounders for
Vucevic
being the main piece, and then Al-Farouq Aminu, essentially for Vucevic.
Because Gordon's trying to get out of there too. I was wondering if he was getting out of Orlando.
I think he will. He asked for a trade.
I feel like Orlando's been rebuilding since Dwight Howard left.
I mean, they shipped Fournier to the Celtics. I mean, they're just getting rid of everybody.
Yeah, it's.
You okay, Brandon?
Yeah, I'm not. I usually have my computer on my right, and I usually have my my notebook to my left, and I couldn't find my notebook, but here it is. So I did have a pre-pick central. I keep forgetting to read the pre-pick central picks on the show, but I will remember to do it today. But yeah, NBA trade deadline. Kyle Lowry's out there to be had. Aaron Gordon.
They're saying Lowry's
Sixers.
They were saying. I heard Daryl Morey not wanting to overpay for him. It was kind of
the last I saw, they were saying it was pretty likely it was going to happen. Maybe not 100% confirmed.
I don't know. Getting Kyle Lowry at the trade deadline is like. Is like going to a bar and getting like a 4. I mean, you're getting some sex. But
have you seen the ass on Lowry? That's more than a 4.
I'm not talking.
Lowry's an 8.
That's a dump truck.
Okay, I'm not talking about him as a. I'm comparing him to to the attractiveness of a woman that you would take home from a bar. I'm not saying how attractive I think he is.
The sheer size of his ass.
I'm just saying, as a basketball player, he seems like the slump buster you get at the end of the night, as opposed to a franchise changer.
I don't think you're giving him. I think you're slightly undervaluing him.
I think it helps his playoff championship. Championship experience.
I think he's better. I think he's more like a 6.5, 7, to be honest.
Really, I think that's a lot.
I do. He's a good player.
He's all right. I mean,
but he's not all. But But then who else? Like, who do you put in his category of like all?
He's also a Nova guy coming back to Philly.
Well, that's another thing. He's a Philly guy, like born and raised Philly guy.
You're probably right. You're probably right.
I just think
maybe I'm undervaluing Kyle Lowry.
I just think the Raptors, like, obviously we're used to them being good. They fell off a little bit, but they've still been like a solid team without. I mean, they lost obviously Kawhi, DeRozan, like all their main guys. He's pretty much the only guy left.
Andrew Clark says Lowry's a Hall of Famer. No, 100%.
No, not a Hall of Famer. A very good player though. A very good
fine,
NBA player.
Yeah, he could be in the Hall of really good, but he's not a Hall of Famer at all.
I think that's a stretch too.
He's also not at the very end of his career. He's still got 4 or 5 years left, right?
That's why I think it's a solid pickup for the Sixers. Like I think it's a good move, especially like they're a team that's legitimately trying to win a championship.
Yeah,
that's just another score. They need guys that can shoot. I don't think it's a bad move.
Yeah, no, for the Sixers, I mean, you got teams out there like the Sixers they're in that championship discussion, and they're trying to strengthen what they got for a championship. I know the Jazz have the best record in basketball right now. I don't know that they're making any moves. But Oladipo's out there. Andre Drummond, I think the Knicks were in talks to get Andre Drummond.
There were a lot of rumors on the Lakers and Oladipo trying to hold the ship while waiting on LeBron and AD to be out, because right now they got a G League team out there. Big
Ben says Brandon was the girl slump buster at the end of the night, though he's a Starkville 6. Well, there were no slumps in Starkville because I wasn't breaking any slumps. I wasn't. I was kept in the bullpen or the on deck circle or whatever you want to have it. Lowry top 10 of maybe, says Rick James. I don't know. Shout out Blessed Billy Chaminade, says somebody. Drew Crabb. Blessed Billy Chaminade. 2 straight days. Mm-hmm. Still searching for that miracle.
Still searching for number 3 to become a saint.
Yep.
How's everything going? How's life going, Big F?
I'm feeling better today. I feel fully recovered.
You do feel like you got a pep in your step.
I feel fully.
Your aura is
I feel
much
recovered
improved.
today.
You look
Yesterday I was still like a loopy, delirious. Like, you know when you get older, like your hangovers go from like 3 hours to like 3 days. Yeah. I think that's where I was at. Now I'm good.
So we have a phenomenon at this office, and you're a part of it. When the winter breaks and spring approaches in the animal kingdom, you have the bears, lumbering out of the cave. You have all the animals, the birds are back and chirping, and the flowers pop up from the ground. But at Barstool, the way you tell winter is ending, shorts start showing up en masse. And the big guys, when they show up in shorts, they're just a little bit more jolly, a little bit happier. And you're rocking the shorts today,
big time.
Yeah,
you won't see me in pants probably for the next
November
7 months. Yeah,
I like that though. I'm similar.
Unless it's like
I'm
if it's
similar.
like I'm not like one of those total hardos. Like if it's like 40 degrees, like I'll throw the pants on. But if it's 50 and above, I'll be in shorts.
Jonathan Corbett says, "I'm getting married this weekend. Advice, please." Yeah,
don't
run away. No, it'll be fine. You'll be great. You'll be the guy that tames the women. You'll be the guy whose wife isn't crazy. It's you. You're the one, brother. You will love your mother-in-law. You will get along so well. All the decisions that you make in your house will be respected. It's going to be incredible. Go ahead, buddy. It's going to be awesome. You're going to have so much sex. You're going to have so much sex because once you get married, you can just have sex all the time. That's how it works.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's something to look forward to, hopefully.
I'm lying, Ben.
Well, it seemed like every time you had sex, you got her pregnant then, if you're saying you didn't.
When your beautiful, lovely bride walks down the aisle this weekend, I want you to look at her. I want you to honor her. I want you to respect her. And I want you to say, here comes a woman who's given her last blowjob. That's what you say. Congratulations to her. Maybe I'm projecting a little bit. I'm sorry. All right. Ask Mintz, how was Colorado? I asked him yesterday, but I will always allow him to talk about Colorado and what it was like out there at Blackhawk, right?
Yeah, so I just want to say, if you hadn't been to Blackhawk, the Ameristar Blackhawk is a Penn property. We've got an unbelievable new sports book there.
I love the way he says unbelievable.
Thank you. It's
say it again.
Unbelievable. But it was just first class treatment. It's only 40 miles west of Denver, just down I-70, easy to get there. I mean, you get to gamble in the snowy mountain towns. You get the combo of Colorado and sports gambling in the Barstool Sports book. You can't beat it. And I also love getting to hang out in Denver. I only hung out in Denver for one night and had so much fun. I'm already thinking about my next trip back, hopefully in June or July, because I love Colorado so much.
What'd you think about Lane Kiffin's tweet this morning?
Which tweet?
So somebody, I don't know who did it. Somebody put out a list of the top 50 worst coaching hires in college football in the last
I saw the one that said Art Briles 2 and
Art Briles number 2, Hugh Freeze 5. Lane Kiffin was 10 at Tennessee. And he quote tweeted it and said, top 10, baby. So he leaned into it. I thought it was a bad list because I believe a bad hire is a coach that can't win. That's what I believe. Like, Lane Kiffin was not a bad hire at Tennessee. It turned out bad because he left, but he wasn't a bad hire.
The staff he had was incredible. He had Coach O, and he
was
Frank
a good
Wilson,
hire. He was a great hire. The fact they lost him is what hurt him. It was a great hire. A bad hire is like Jeremy Pruitt at Tennessee.
Les Miles at Kansas.
Yeah, Les Miles at Kansas. Something that just doesn't work at all. Art Briles definitely turned into a problem in a situation, but he also
built that stadium with
built Baylor. He resurrected Baylor. So I don't know if he was a bad hire. He evolved into bad. He didn't start out bad.
Because I was even going to say Hugh Freeze. I mean, they beat Bama.
Yeah,
there's not
a bad hire.
There's not an Ole Miss fan in the world that will tell you Hugh Freeze was a bad hire. They'd hire him back tomorrow if Lane Kiffin left.
Yeah.
Agreed?
Oh, Brandon's definitely right. Yeah. I mean, like I said, I was willing to sacrifice the 3 years of probation because I saw with my own 2 eyes Ole Miss beat Bama both times. That's worth like 3 years of sucking to me. Man, probably 5. Probably never happen again.
Brandon, I like the shirt today. Thank you, Logan Cohn. I appreciate that. That is beautiful. Do you know if you're going to Detroit this weekend?
I don't think so. I haven't been told so, I'd imagine not.
I think I might be. I might be leaving Sunday. I got T-ball and baseball practice Friday and Saturday. I can't miss. I missed last week for the first time. So
do you coach? Are you coach?
No, I just there to help, support,
just
and
watch.
Yeah. So I got T-ball practice and coach pitch practice tomorrow, and then we got softball practice Saturday. So we got a busy weekend of practice. Again, the world is coming out of hibernation, and it feels like this spring and summer.
Your kids excited?
Could be the best spring and summer because we're also going to start coming out of COVID very, very soon.
I think my fondest memories in life are Little League.
Really? How good were you?
I was fine. I mean, I was good, and then everyone grew. And
Can I guess your position?
Yeah.
I'm going to say they put you at second base.
Correct.
Yeah.
Would have been my guess also.
Yeah, I think
this is the right frame.
I don't think you're a right fielder. I think you were average skill, maybe even good skill.
Yeah, I was good and small.
I would say you batted either 1 or 2 or maybe and played second base.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I was the fat kid in right field, and the funny Little League memory I've got is I ripped the base hit up the middle to center field, and this guy who was a center fielder on this team played outfield for Southern Miss. He threw me out at first base from center field on a base hit, but they called me safe because he felt so bad for me. But, I mean, I was definitely out by a full step. Like, I had a line drive, and he just stepped up and ripped it. It was not my finest moment.
Third base?
In my early days, first.
First? Okay. All right.
I've definitely been attempted thrown out at first base quite a few times from the outfield. Always safe. Thank God.
Pitcher and left?
No. I played up until 10 years old. I played shortstop and pitcher. I was one of the best players in the league, and then I got gangly. And
Weren't
I didn't.
You huge though?
I know I was very small. I was small, and I was slight.
Gotcha.
I was slight. Like from age 10 to 16, I was short and very
Really?
skinny. Yes.
So
and then,
when's that picture of you at a wrestling thing? You're like 18 there?
Oh, I'm 20 years old there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's 1999. I was 20, but and then I switched to first base at age 11, and I hated it, and I eventually got out of baseball because I hated playing first base.
I loved first base.
Yeah, I want to be in the
good at
mix.
the
I want to
pick.
be in the mix in the action.
I was good at the pick, which
Yeah.
a lot of people weren't good at.
I can see that.
That was big. Good hand-eye
good
coordination.
scooper, huh?
Very good scooper.
I struggle with the scooping.
Solid bat as
I
well.
was a
That
good
usually
fielder at
kept me in the-
shortstop, but I struggled with the scooping. I didn't do great.
The bat usually kept me in the lineup. I always didn't strike out very often.
I didn't strike out at all either. I didn't hit home runs till I was 18 or 19, but I always hit the ball.
Yeah, I only hit. See, as a big guy, they always think power. I wasn't like. I was a line drive hitter, as they would say.
My 8-year-old doesn't swing that hard. He hits it. He's never struck out in his entire life. He has made contact every at bat he's ever had in Little League baseball, but he doesn't. He'll hit it past the shortstop, past third baseman. He doesn't have extra base power. He's very careful.
See what you got to do in Little League. A lot of them, they don't have fences.
Yeah.
You just hit one of those line drives in the gap.
That's a very
run.
Northeast thing.
They always have fences.
Yeah, that's a very Northeast. You guys playing softball on these fenceless fields and everything up here in Little League, that doesn't really exist in most of the country.
Because we don't really use at least in we didn't really use fences until you're probably like 12 or 13. And you even go play All-Stars, like some other teams you would go and they just wouldn't have a fence.
Yeah.
You hit a ball over the outfield, they would play so deep.
I've never seen, until I got to New York, I saw some in Chicago this weekend, I've never seen a softball or baseball field without an outfield fence. It's shocking to me. What if you hit one over everybody's head and you just run forever?
Yeah,
It's usually ones that are facing each other, right?
That's literally what it is. You just hit like a nice gapper, like a line drive in the gap, home run, if you got any speed.
Because it just rolls forever.
Yeah, it just keeps going.
Just roll to shortstop at the next field. What about, they got a game going on too? So you got other, I never understand.
There'll be times if someone just hits an absolute bomb.
Especially softball, because softball is just a game of hitting bombs. Although you guys use like a 16-inch ball up here, right?
Yeah, we
use a big ball that you can't hit out?
Depends. I feel like I played in a couple. We use like either normal balls or some of them use one of those little like softer, like the actual, the white, like squishy little bit type ones.
Yeah, we just use big baseballs. It's just a baseball that's big. The softballs.
We use those ones too, but obviously they're just like the green color. But
man, I didn't have a home run hit against me until I was 12 years old. Lamont Fitzpatrick hit one out to right field. He was the worst player on that team. He just got lucky. I threw it exactly where I wanted it. It was a knee-high fastball on the outside. He just swung at it and knocked it out. Lamont Fitzpatrick's held that over my head ever since. I love the Fitzpatrick.
I got a fun fact for you.
What?
I've had 2 home runs hit off me. They both were off someone who's currently in jail for murder. That's a fact.
That is I don't know how fun
that's
that
a
fact
fact.
is, but it's a fact.
When I was 12 years
It
old.
was a fun
I
fact.
think that's a delightful fact.
What kind of league are you playing in? The California?
That was just
the New York.
Little League.
You playing the New York Penal League or
Just a kid
something?
in my Little League. We were 11 years old.
Was it one guy or 2?
He hit both 2 off me in the same game.
Oh, okay, all right.
He actually ended up hitting another one off the kid that got that
So
one.
that guy killed you.
He had 10 RBIs in one game. He had 3 home runs.
Well, this guy sounds like a hell of a player.
His first pick in the
I've seen him hit
softball
many
league,
home
huh?
runs. He was a very good hitter in baseball.
What do you think went wrong?
He always was just kind of a bad egg.
Yeah.
He was one of those. He was good to be your friend, but if he wasn't your friend, there was issues.
I don't think
Kind of just things went south after high school.
Was he your friend?
We were friends and we were.
There was a respect there.
Yeah, he always our grandfathers were good friends. Our grandfathers were members of the Italian American Club in our town together, the good pals.
I don't know that I played with any murderers. I probably did. I don't know that. I can't pinpoint a murderer that I ever played with. Some drug dealers, sure. Yeah.
Oh, it was a big deal. He was on the cover of the paper. Like, it was probably 4 or 5 summers ago. It was crazy. It was all anyone could talk about in the town. It was the first murder that occurred in our town since 1992.
Well, I'm just learning a whole lot here today. Wow.
So it's not like we're some I didn't grow up in some ghetto. Like, we just had
I never remember where you grew up. In Long Island?
No, Goshen, New York. It's like 50, 60 miles upstate in New York.
Okay, all right. You don't seem like an upstate guy.
It's kind of like the end of, I would call it kind of like after my county, like 30 minutes north. That's like the end of the burbs. And then it just becomes like the sticks.
Okay.
Once you get up there way north, like Monticello.
I've heard the upstate New York is very stickish.
Yeah, that's where I'm kind of like, they would consider me upstate, but we're not like look at a map.
Yeah. You don't give me an upstate vibe at all. You give me a city vibe.
I mean, it's not like, we kind of have that little bit of city attitude, I guess, a little bit, just because it's pretty close. Like, I was in Jersey a lot. I was in the city a lot.
Luke Conthor says, I had a ground ball skip off a rock into my nuts playing shortstop. I umpired when I was 16, 17, and for 11, 12-year-olds. And 11, 12-year-olds can throw it if they really. And one time, I wasn't wearing a cup behind the plate. It bounced under the catcher up to my nuts, and it was a terrible, terrible day.
Sheesh.
Terrible day. And then one time,
you ain't getting paid near enough.
I didn't have the fucking throat guard down, and the catcher just didn't even touch the ball. Went right over him, hit me right in the throat. So I stayed in there. I didn't bail out. I'm not a pussy.
I remember a big playoff game. Our starter came in, gave up 7 runs in the first inning. He only got 1 or 2 outs. I came in, pitched 6 1/3 scoreless. We came back to tie it, and then I gave up a walk-off.
Oh.
That story had a lot of twists and turns, Owen.
Yeah.
That story had.
That one sticks with me.
Yeah, that's
It's a hell of
rough.
a heroic effort, though.
They let you. You give them 6 1/3 inning. They didn't have anybody to come in and clean up the end.
I guess it was up to me.
That's
It's
unbelievable.
the horse you rode in on.
What
Just
about
ride
that?
'em.
What about that prick that couldn't get through the first inning? Has he ever murdered anybody?
No, I don't think so. He was a quiet guy. Well, quiet guys can murder as well.
Absolutely.
Quiet guys
do murder.
Sometimes that's a personality trait.
TJ and I are back here talking about nostalgia. What was your favorite baseball bat? Mine, I'll give you one. The Combat Da Bomb. It was green. I used it once. I hit a home run. My dad bought it for me. It was the best bat I've ever used.
Those bats were broken. They got banned after a year and a half.
I think it actually killed somebody.
Yeah, if you made contact, it was just
I have
280-foot bomb.
I had I'm older than all of you. I had the normal Eastons, but then I had TPX was the big bat when I was coming up. TPX, it was red, it was bright, it was beautiful. TPX would have been the marquee bat when I came up.
Mine, the Black Magic.
Oh yeah,
I actually used the murderer's bat and hit a grand slam with it. Another fun fact. So shout out to him for letting me use his bat. Appreciate that.
Shout out wherever you are. Well, probably in a prison
He's in
somewhere.
upstate penitentiary. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta Google what mine was.
What are you Googling? Oh, the bat?
Also, when I was around that age, 12, that was when the stealth was invented.
Yeah.
Oh,
that
yeah.
was
The blue
just
and
like
orange
groundbreaking
stealth?
technology
That
in the
thing
baseball
hit
world.
So the blue and orange stealth was my white whale. I wanted it so bad. It was
Yeah.
the coolest bat in the league. And my neighbor was older and he had one. And he sold me his after a couple seasons, and I was super excited to have it, but it was just completely dead.
It also got banned probably right after.
The Stealth is well after my time. I'm aware of it, but I never had the joys of using it.
Isn't the Easton like the big green bat or something?
Well, there were many. There were big green Eastons. That was probably the most popular bat when I was a kid. But there was also a skinnier one that was like it was metallic silver with like maroon writing on it. Maroon and cream writing on it. I had that one. I had 2 bats in my bag. I had the 31 of that when I was 11, and then I had the big fat Easton, which was fantastic. But the TPX came along and changed everybody, and they were big and they were heavier, and I was again slight, and that's when I began to grow out of baseball.
And then the official bat of contact hitters was the DeMarini Vexum.
Yep.
The Vexum.
Yep.
The Vexum.
Big time.
And the Voodoo. The Voodoo was a big one.
I always thought of DeMarini as more of a softball bat, but it has some room in baseball these days too.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they had the F3, which is the black and red one, and then the CF4, which is white and gold, and that was like the rich kid bat.
Yeah, that was the rich kid bat.
I'm trying to think of obviously we know Easton. There were Mizuno bats back in the day. I think Easton, Mizuno, and then there was one more that I had. TPX.
Louisville Slugger.
That's Louisville Slugger.
Yeah.
And then there was one more that I had, and I don't remember the kind, but it's the one I had in Coach Pitch, and I used to hit rocks with it, and it was all dinged up with rock. That's what I did in my spare time, hit rocks.
Really?
It's very fun.
Nike made bats. They weren't good.
No, they weren't good. And so I had my dinged up bat that I got a lot of hits with in Coach Pitch, but I can't remember the name of it. It was not Huffy. That's a bike. Huffy's a bike.
That is.
It is.
BMX is also a bike.
Sure is.
Damn sure is.
Yep.
This is fun. I'm enjoying myself.
Memory lane.
Do you know Gushers weren't invented until 1991? We have some in the snack thing.
I
there.
don't know a world without them.
That's what Gushers are not on my radar because they I was already like a teenager when they came out. I didn't eat a lot of Gushers.
It's like the Sour Patch Kids were huge.
I was more a fruit roll up guy.
If you saw a pack of Gushers and a pack of Fruit by the Foot in front of you, which would you have?
Fruit roll up.
Okay.
I was a fruit roll up kid. That was.
Were you?
Fruit roll-up
I hated fruit roll up, but it was omnipresent where I was.
Fruit roll up was in my household. Gushers were not.
Yes.
That's just kind of how it went.
I didn't really have
That was
either,
my
but I
mom
was
bought.
never a Gushers guy.
Well, because you were given like filet mignon at lunch and everything.
I mean, the Blessed Shaman hunt.
Did you have organic fruit by the foot? Did you have actual fruit by the foot?
No.
At your school?
But I would get those Sour Power straws every day.
Those are
Probably
good.
awful for me.
I don't remember Sour Power straws
They're
at
good.
all.
Very
Fan.
good.
Are they like pixie straws?
No,
No.
I wouldn't say. They're more like a I'm trying to think how to describe it. Think
It's
like
a Nerd's rope type deal. Like a
think like
Twizzler
a
almost?
Nerd's rope, but instead
No, it's like a Twizzler,
like
but a
covered-
Sour Patch Kid.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sour Patch Kids were big.
All right, so I love getting off on just useless tangents about. We were all kids once. We all played baseball. Yes,
Everybody was a kid once.
everybody was a kid once.
I think my baseball career probably ended before we all. At 14, I saw the writing on the wall that I was either going to ride the pine or I could make something of being a decent tennis player, and I just went all in on that and ended up.
I moved to basketball at 15. So
Is that when you had your big growth spurt?
yeah.
Okay.
Well, between sophomore and junior year, 6.5 inches. I went home 5'11". I came back 6'4.5". So that was fun. I enjoyed that. Although when you grow that much that fast, your shins hurt.
Yeah, I heard you get the growth spurt.
It
and
hurts.
stuff.
Yeah. You know what
I
I'm
used
talking
to
about.
want-
You're a big boy.
Never happened.
I
for
used
me.
to want
Not the
shin
growth spurt.
pains so bad.
Yeah, no, they were the worst though.
No, I know, but I
My
wanted
kid
them
gets them now, and I
because I was just never growing.
you
and I
can't
was
do
like,
anything for it.
I really want to experience
God,
this.
I just remember that's some of the worst pain you can have. It's your shins, shin splints. I don't know if that's
Splints,
it's absolutely awful. Big Ben says sports talk. Fuck you, Big Ben. It's an hour show.
Talking baseball.
We're talking baseball. We're going to talk about the Sweet 16. We're going to talk about the NBA trade deadline some more. I assume there will be some trades right now. Like Logan C. Huck says, Aaron Gordon to the Nuggets. Can I get you guys, when they say a trade in here, because you can't trust these people. You can't trust these commenters. Is Aaron Gordon to the Nuggets an actual thing?
No, not yet. I have push notifications on for a lot of things.
Oh.
I feel like I would
yeah, I
have
do
gotten
too.
it.
So we don't know if the Knicks have gotten Lowry for sure, or I mean the Sixers have gotten Lowry for sure. Is that happening?
Not 100%. I don't believe.
All right. I went to camp with Tom's River Little League World Series champ and ended up fighting two of them. Says Joseph Kessler.
Todd Frazier, Tom's River Little League.
Mm-hmm.
Pride.
Cody,
I actually went to
Rutgers
sleepaway
legend.
camp at Williamsport.
how was it?
It was good. They're like just like very sacred grounds. Like you can't walk on the grass.
They don't let you play on
and,
the
like,
fields.
you only got to play on the main field once at the end of the week.
Have you guys heard my take about this?
What?
I love youth baseball. Love growing up like that. I think the Little League World Series is probably the worst event in sports every year. I don't think it's watchable. It's every league team has one kid that's 6'4" already, and he's throwing gas. The umpires suck. I hate the Little League World Series. I think
That's
it's
a
an
trash
awful
take.
I think it's an awful event.
I think it's the second best sporting event.
It's awful. I don't
it's
want to watch
March Madness, and then it's the Little League World Series.
Do you think it's that good?
Yes, I traveled to it with my friends a couple of years
Did
ago.
you really?
Yeah, that was awkward because we didn't really prepare for what it was. Like, we were tailgating, and
I mean, it's all families and kids.
Yeah, we were the only people with alcohol on the premises. And
were you frowned upon?
I mean, yeah, probably, but like, we didn't.
Did y'all get in the bleachers, or did you like sit on the hills in the outfield?
No, we were in the stands. Just
y'all sneak booze in?
We stayed at a Holiday Inn like 100 yards from the field, so we were just going back and drinking,
gassing up, coming back.
Yeah.
Do they have like a pass thing, or like you walk outside, you have to buy a new ticket, or what?
No, it's literally just like one tent.
Isn't it free?
Is it free?
Oh, I doubt it.
I'm trying to remember. I think it was.
Really?
I'm pretty sure it's free.
Surely not.
I think it was free.
Oh, well, I mean, they pack a lot of spectators. It seems like they can make a lot of money.
I think the hill might be free. I don't know. You said you're in the stands. I don't know.
That might be true.
It wasn't a lot of money if it was money.
I just don't enjoy watching kids, because at that point they're almost like small professionals. I don't know. It just weirds me out.
I get into the aspect of like they're 45 feet away, they're throwing 65, but really they're throwing 90.
Yeah.
I wish.
I remember Danny Almonte when he was like 15 pitching.
And it's always nice when you get like one kid on one team that's dominant. You can just kind of like try to like watch a small piece of greatness for like 3 weeks.
I wish Rico was here, because I know he loved Monet Davis. And he would regale us with stories about Monet Davis in the Little League World Series. I think he still has a Monet Davis jersey. Big Monet Davis guy.
I also would love just getting basically.
Doesn't he have a Monet Davis tattoo on his
think
head?
it's something like that. Yeah, I haven't seen the whole thing. Her number and MD, I believe. But it's classy tattoos, classy guy.
Yeah, no, of course.
Yeah. And I think he liked that Danny Almonte, they cheated to get him in. I believe that Rico doesn't really care about honor or anything, so he was like, yeah, Danny Almonte, number one.
What year was Danny Almonte?
2001.
Yep.
Okay.
Damn, was that long ago?
It was 20 years ago. He's mid-30s.
So
he's a middle-aged man.
You remember the what?
He was a Yankees farm system guy.
He's
for
your
a little
age.
bit.
You remember the Mike Lupica book?
I remember the story. I didn't remember.
I'm aware of the Mike Lupica stories like that.
So that was just like a ripoff of the Danny Almonte story,
Pretty
right?
much, yeah, essentially.
There are all these false rumors going around the Ole Miss frat house that I like to gamble on the Little League World Series that I'm still facing to this day. Not true.
I would absolutely gamble if it was legal.
Untrue.
I have gambled.
If it was legal, I absolutely would.
I mean, there's not a person sitting here. We wouldn't be sitting here if we didn't enjoy action on whatever's on TV, right?
Yeah. I'd love to.
Yeah. Have you?
Japanese
no,
first
I never
five
did,
unders.
but it was just it got out around campus. Everybody's like, "Man, it's such a degenerate. He bets on the Little League World Series," and I actually never did. I am a degenerate.
That's a cool rumor.
The Japan team always has like 5 good pitchers.
Chinese Taipei
Always.
the Heat.
They always
Chinese Taipei used to,
Curacao was the team. I remember watching Jurickson Profar, and now he's just like on the Padres.
Yeah, that's like
I remember
the only
he was
one
like
Cody Bellinger.
He was like but I like distinctly remember he was like the dominant player on a really good Curacao team, and now he's just like a shortstop in the league.
You and me are the only ones that could possibly remember this. I don't know if you can remember it, but Nintendo game, Little League World Series.
I don't remember.
Little League Baseball.
I remember Little League Baseball.
Did you play?
Little League Baseball?
No. I'm talking about the video game on NES.
I remember the Little League Baseball game.
Yeah, it was Baseball Stars engine, but it was in Mexico. They had their number 3 hitter was named Paco. He was fantastic. It was backyard baseball before backyard baseball existed. It was.
You remember RBI baseball? I used to love RBI baseball.
Can I just ask you a question? We haven't known each other long.
Okay.
Do you think I remember RBI baseball?
Yes, I definitely do.
Yes. I mean, I have
I feel
at
like I
least
asked a stupid question.
3 RBI baseball shirts. I remember everything about RBI baseball. I can remember the roster of every single team. There were 8 teams.
Brandon, you remember this thing that's right in your wheelhouse about everything you're passionate about?
Yes. You remember
a big Tecmo Bowl fan as well? Okay, obviously.
You remember man titties, Brandon? Yeah, I do. They're right here. Yeah.
Hey, look, I got you notched on that too.
I remember. Huge Tecmo Bowl guy, big Tecmo Super Bowl guy, but more of a Tecmo Bowl guy.
Walter Payton.
Walter Payton, yeah. You had Miami, you had, and then the Bears had the play that you couldn't stop, Cat Bozo over the middle. Mike Singletary. Lawrence Taylor gets a lot of love there, but Ronnie Lott and Mike Singletary just as good.
The Tecmo Super Bowl, Bo Jackson, where you just hit the button to throw people off.
Nicholas Wallach says the EA college baseball game was fire. It was.
That was the best when video games used to have just a play that was broken.
Yeah.
2007 Madden, you just did a Hail Mary and then ran with Mike Vick.
Yeah.
I would say Mike Vick had an end around where he literally would take the snap from under center and just run to either side, and you just couldn't tackle.
It was so broken back then that you could put like Michael Vick at defensive end, and it was the only counter to Michael Vick. Like you could be Atlanta versus Atlanta, and to counter Mike Vick, you put Mike Vick at defensive end, and that's how
There was also the HB slip screen with Chris Johnson.
Yep.
Oh,
yeah,
man.
that was a big one.
How about halfback angle from NCAA football?
Oh, that
was always
one
fun.
I remember. That one.
HB angle, baby. That's the original shark
The
wheel.
PA dangle with
Alvin
Percy
Kamara
Harvin.
still runs. Alvin Kamara still runs that angle all the time.
Aaron Gordon's been traded to the Nuggets.
Aaron Gordon to the Nuggets. Well, the Nuggets are good. That's interesting. You got Jokic. You got Jamal Murray. Now you have a third big time scorer there.
Michael Porter's been flashing too.
I assume that Porter. What's the deal? Do you know?
Nah, details aren't out yet, but they're on the brink.
He demanded a trade, or he asked for a trade, so probably not crazy amount.
Is that RJ Hampton in it?
And
I think he's under contract till like 2022. I saw.
The thin air out there. His dunks are going to be even better.
I still think that dunk he did over the mascot that was like under the legs was one of the highest level of difficulty dunks that's ever been done.
Aaron Gordon not winning a single dunk contest is the biggest tragedy in the history of sports.
When he jumped over the guy with his legs up in the air and put it on, like that was. I don't know if there's another human being that could have done that. That was incredible.
It was
incredible.
I think it's as good a contest dunk as we've ever seen.
And
I was fine with him not winning that one because Zach LaVine also put on a show. But the one he lost to the Miami guy last year was, or last year or the year before, was a tragedy.
Absolute travesty.
Yeah, that's when Dwayne Wade jerked the scoring around.
LaVine was one thing. The guy was doing between the legs from the free throw line. I was like, okay, like he's just something else. But I agree. Him not winning one is one of the biggest miscarriages of justice in the history of the NBA.
Probably the biggest. I think sports should be ripped down and torn asunder. This has been fun. Dean Johnson says, Brandon rocking those acid wash mom jeans. These are not acid wash nor mom jeans. These are very cool jeans. I also have Parrot socks on. So if you're going to hate on somebody, by the way, in the coolness race, I've got Parrot socks on. That's my answer to you.
See, and this is me not trying to say I'm cooler than you. This is me trying to give you advice. Don't say your jeans are cool.
You have been saying you're cool.
But only at a counteractive to you saying I'm not.
I can say whatever I want. Brandon fucking Walker.
But I'm saying
I will announce my coolness when I walk in here.
Those jeans are not cool jeans.
Look how fucking cool I am today.
Yeah, but that doesn't make you
No,
cool.
I don't think these. I mean, these jeans are just jeans.
There's average jeans.
I didn't say the jeans were cool. I said the socks were cool.
Socks are fine.
No, they're not fine.
I like the socks.
The socks are amazing. The socks are Parrots.
Parrot?
Yeah.
I do. It's got some tie-dye colors. I'm a fan of that.
Yeah.
I like the tie-dye stees.
Okay, let's. I like that we're just rocking around here. You show me a bracket or an ad?
Ad.
Body Armor Edge is a lifesaver for me. I was dragging ass the other day. I was terrible. There you go. Get that camera over there. Yeah. I was struggling. We had been streaming for 28 hours straight. I got there that morning. We had to do Pick Central. I picked up that right there, that Tropical Chaos, the one third from the right, Tropical Chaos Body Armor Edge, and it was delicious. It tasted great, and it has 100 milligrams of caffeine, 1,000 milligrams of electrolytes. It got me going. It got me ready for the day, and it replenished me for the rest of the day. So it wasn't just something that started me and I would crash later. It was perfect for the rest of the day. Body Armor has the best water in the game. We've been drinking it. You see it in front of us right now. And Body Armor Edge, these new drinks that have just as much caffeine as coffee and all the electrolytes. You can find them at 7-Eleven. You can find them on pretty much wherever you go. You go to bodyarmor.com. Check them out. Body Armor Edge. They're delicious. Somebody says, Big Ev, did you ever have a full head of hair? I can't picture you with hair.
Oh, I used to have some serious flow.
Some flow, huh?
You want me to pull a picture up?
I would love to see a picture of you with
Young
hair.
Ev.
This is my confirmation picture. My hair is immaculate. Some of the best hair you'll see. Hold on.
I can't wait to see this. In
this.
fact, I've known you for what, 2 years now. I've never seen you with hair.
I've had a straight, just like high bald fade for about 8 to 9 years now, and now I'm just bald. But
yeah, we're about to see the. Wow,
that's some good hair. Like that's strong. That's strong hair.
Can we zoom in on this right away?
That is strong hair.
There we go. He's coming.
Strong hair.
Look at that. That is wavy.
Those locks are flowing.
Big time.
I mean, that's Trevor Lawrence.
Big time locks. I had to go deep in the log for that on Instagram.
Look at that. That is beautiful.
It's good, right?
You had blonde hair like that.
Yeah.
If you grew it out now, would it be blonde like that?
No, I started just buzzing it a lot.
Okay. All right.
Because then I got recruited to play football at a Catholic school, had to cut it, and then I just kept just buzzing it.
It was like the Yankees thing where you couldn't have long hair.
Yeah, it couldn't be off the shoulder. So, and then after that, it was history. Just brown after that. It never came back the same. My mom has like huge, big, curly blonde hair.
That's some
good looking
lettuce.
Yeah, it's good, right?
I like that. I did not expect that.
I love being able to pull that picture out.
That is
no
good.
one expects it.
Young L.
And now
I like that little boy, Brandon.
Now
I like that little boy.
Confirmation.
Picture,
nice little. Little church tie on.
Are we going to go to Times Square later and do the thing?
We are.
Are we going to be able to get it out quickly, or I don't know what the process is after that.
Yeah.
Okay, very
good. I got my interest peaked. Whatever y'all are doing, I'm watching it.
Brandon, get a fade. I mean, my hair is fading away from my forehead right now.
Mine's is way, way, way too long right now, which is why I'm wearing a cap. But I'm holding it. I've been going to the same haircut lady in Oxford that is actually married to your good friend, Eli Askey's wife. I've been going to her since I was 18, and so I'm holding out for 3 more weeks to get to
Shout out Eli fucking.
Yeah, no, but Brandon and I have a mutual friend. We have a mutual friend
from West Point, Mississippi.
Yeah,
that's right.
Grew up with Brandon, but his wife's been giving me haircuts for 20 years, and I'm trying to hold out till I make it there.
Oh, there's nothing better, especially in the South, of finding that good haircut girl and just going to her for years and years and years.
That's anywhere though.
I've moved so much that I'll get a girl and I'll go 2 or 3 years and then I have to leave. And right now I got Erica Fleischman, who's the best in the business, so she's doing great. Let's see.
Aaron Gordon deal is Gary Harris, R.J. Hampton, and a first-round pick to the Magic for Aaron Gordon and Gary Clark.
Well, that seems best case scenario for the Nuggets. It doesn't really feel like they're giving up a major asset. Gary Harris can probably do decent things for the Magic, but he wasn't a difference maker. R.J. Hampton, maybe he turns into something. Some upside, yeah. The only way I think R.J. Hampton has a lot of upside, I always confuse him with R.J. Barrett.
Yeah, there's that first split second.
I assign him R.J. Barrett's upside.
Yeah.
R.J. Barrett's played great this year.
Yeah, he's been a lot better.
He's been great for the Knicks this year. He really has.
The Knicks are just a fun team to watch.
They're great.
But I do think today. Do you think the Knicks line is a rat line today?
I took on my mate.
So they just played in like the same spot and they blew them out. So a little bit.
Yeah, but the Wizards are terrible, and Knicks are at home giving up only 3.
The Wizards have a weird thing going. Whenever they play like real good teams, they've been a problem, but then they stink when they play bad teams. They've got a bunch. Like they beat the Jazz.
The Knicks are right in the middle. We're literally 500.
Let's talk about the NCAA tournament, the Sweet 16 this weekend. We'll skip the NIT for right now, even though Mississippi State is playing today. I know it's a very important event for a lot of you guys out there.
That line's plummeting.
That's why. What is it?
Opened at a pick'em. It's -3.5. Mississippi State now.
Favored by 3.5 now.
That's why Big Ev wore his maroon today. Thank you, Big Ev, for the support. I appreciate it.
Bring the cowbells.
Well, we got the cowbell. If you want to ring cowbell, I can go get it.
I'm good.
It's on my desk.
We can not and say we did.
Okay. All right. So Sweet 16 this weekend, starting on Saturday. Your Saturday games are Loyola against Oregon State, Baylor against Villanova, Arkansas against Oral Roberts, Houston against Syracuse. I do think the Sunday games are a little sexier. But why don't we just start Saturday? We'll talk through these games. See where everybody's leaning. Loyola is giving up 6.5 to Oregon State. Now, I understand Loyola just beat the number 1 seed, and I believe Loyola will win this game. I think 6.5 is kind of madness. I think this is a down to the wire game. That's what I believe about Loyola Oregon State. I know Loyola just shut down Io. They just shut down Kofi Coburn. They just did everything they needed to do, and maybe they did all the hard work. But Oregon State is all these teams are hot, but Oregon State is really, really hot right now. I think 6.5 is too many for Loyola to be given up.
Oregon State's been the hottest team that's not getting the love for being the hottest team.
Because they were hot before they got to the tournament. They ran through the Pac-12.
Well, nobody respected the Pac-12 when they won the tournament, but now that looks like an unbelievable feat.
We have to readjust what we thought of the Pac-12.
I've been the guy. Even you can look back on the records for Pick Central. I've been riding them basically the entire Pac-12 tournament.
You did. On Clubhouse, you liked them against Oregon that day.
I haven't gotten off the ship. I've been on the ship money line every game. I can't get off it.
So you're going with them to beat Loyola?
And even just the way they look against Oklahoma State. I mean, did you? Cade Cunningham got blocked on jump shots multiple times. I don't think people are giving credit for how long and athletic Oregon State is.
They are. There's no fluke here. They're handling teams.
And also, they're the team where I think another reason they're not getting all the credit is because they don't have that one guy. In that stretch of 7, 8 games they've been on, I think they've had 6 different guys lead the team in scoring.
Yeah.
They're just so balanced that they don't have that one guy that they can be like, this guy. Ethan Thompson's probably the guy, but I mean, they have so many guys. They're just big, long, athletic.
Let me answer a question real quick, and I'll get back to it. Logan Cohn says, any Final Four futures intrigue you? I gave it away yesterday at plus 400, Syracuse to make the Final Four. They have to beat Loyola or Oregon State, and they have to beat Houston. Today on the Barstool Sportsbook app that you can bet in Michigan, Illinois, and Pennsylvania, Syracuse is plus 500 to make the Final Four. They're 2 games away from it, plus 500. They've got the defense. So look at that. That's my favorite Final Four future because it's really, really good odds for you. But Loyola, Oregon State, the total is very low, 125.5.
That's the way Loyola plays.
I know it's the way they play, but I feel like I don't remember the score against Illinois, but it went over that total pretty easily.
I think it was 71-58 maybe or something like that, 71-60.
So 129.
Well, I do have one gambling theory on this game, and it actually applied to this point spread's almost the exact same line that was on Purdue when they got upset by North Texas and Virginia when they got upset by Ohio. It was like 7 and 125. 7's a lot of points to lay in a low-scoring damn game. If the over-under is 150 or 160, I don't mind laying 7, but when the game's in the 50s or 60s, 7's a ton to lay.
Yeah, if it's going to be a rock fight,
exactly,
then you don't want to take that big line.
Exactly, that's my point.
That's why I think Loyola's going to win the game. I think Oregon State's covering the 6.5. And we'll give out our official picks probably tomorrow, or if you're comfortable with that.
Yeah.
I will. Whoever wants to join me can do it. But I love Oregon State in the spot, and you've already professed your love. Owen, you've been very, very hot.
I don't have any Sweet 16 picks yet.
Oh, I wasn't talking about picks.
No.
Telling you that I thought you've been looking good lately.
Have you been 8-0 the last 2 days?
Yeah, I actually made a mistake. I tweeted last night that I was 8-0 in the past 2 days.
You were lying?
I'm actually 9-0 in the past 2 days.
Oh.
Wow. That was another. Everything you say today just has twists and turns.
Yeah, I forgot that I took Pepperdine. I woke up to another winner. 9-0 plus 10.2
so
units.
You picked Maryland women's basketball yesterday, and it started right after the show, and I went over there, and they were beating the living piss out of somebody.
Yeah, I took Maryland minus 15 and over 160.5, and they won 101 to 62.
The other games Saturday, Baylor minus 7.5 against Villanova. 141's the total there. Baylor starting to have the look of a team that's just going to kind of steamroll these teams. Like Villanova's loss of Gillespie hasn't shown up yet. I feel like against the defensive team of Baylor, against that defensive team, that's when it shows up. They're going to be out of sorts offensively.
Even North Texas, they just got hot.
Very hot.
I really believe they play that game 10 times. North Texas hangs quite a bit. You just can't beat when they shoot 60-70% from 3 on high volume. Like it's like, what can you do about that?
Run before they had like a 36-4 run.
You just can't. You can't do anything about
that.
And
I'm not sure you're going to be able to. Well, I know that you're not going to be able to do that against Baylor.
No,
they make you uncomfortable. They turn you over, and you don't have a steady guard out there to right the ship. This is where Villanova's lack of Gillespie. Again, not official picks. I just lean Baylor here heavily.
Mm-hmm. I do too. I do too. I got to give Jay Wright Nova credit though for righting the ship. I mean, granted, it was Winthrop and North Texas, but the way they were limping into the tournament, I mean, they did play well.
I do think there's always a team that catches that break and gets to the Sweet 16 because they were able to play.
Good draw.
A great draw. Yeah.
North Texas won the Conference USA tournament and didn't score 60 points in any of the games.
Yeah, but they won the Conference USA tournament. Like Western Kentucky choked. They were able to. I think they scored the last 7 points of the game in the last minute, and they choked. But so I love Baylor there. Also Saturday, Arkansas minus 11.5 against Oral Roberts. I think the dream dies for Oral Roberts right here. They've been a great story in the tournament, but Arkansas just keeps coming at you in waves and waves and waves.
We agree on everything. I agree. Arkansas. I like Arkansas. They played a regular season game. They beat them by 11. But as good as a story as Oral Roberts has been, I'm telling you, Florida sucks. And I don't think Florida's good. And they're going to get a lot more credit off that win than they deserve. Florida's an NIT team this year, I thought.
Yeah, Florida wasn't great. And Florida controlled that game for 35 minutes and then just shit the bed.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think Mike White's doing a great job there. I'm not trying to insult him because he's an Ole Miss guy.
The best player COVID thing before the season, one of the preseason SEC player of the year, Keontae Johnson. So
well, he collapsed in the court.
Right.
So I feel, he made the best of it, but yeah, they weren't good. And I think Oral Roberts is going to get a lot more credit beating Florida as a name than Florida's more of a name brand than they were actually good. I like Arkansas too. And the over-under's 159.5, Brandon, in this one. I would rather lay 11 or 11.5 in this than 7 in the Loyola game because it's going to be high scoring.
Owen, Casey needs some coffee.
Is that serious?
Yes. She said, you know her order, right?
Yeah, I actually do. It's coffee with light skim milk, no sugar.
So that's one of my favorite subplots that happened here that nobody really talks about. Casey just got convinced that Owen loved getting coffee. So she had Owen get coffee, even though
I think she thought I had a company card too, which I had been here for 90 days.
Arkansas minus 11.5 against Oral Roberts. That's where I lean. Did you say anything about this game?
The only thing is, it's like I'd be inclined to take the points, but they played, like you said, they played earlier this year. They won by 11. Arkansas shot terribly in that game.
So did the guard for Oral Roberts had a bad game too.
This is one of those I'll probably end up taking the points just because I'm a sucker for it, but. Also, I don't even have a beef with Arkansas, but people keep tweeting at me. It brought my attention. I've been continuously fading them, and I've been continuously losing. And it's not even intentional. It just
Arkansas fans are very thin-skinned. They're a very dumb fan base. Arkansas fans are they if they think you've slighted them, and every fan base is dumb, but they're a special breed. Arkansas fans will absolutely canvass your Twitter if there's even the slightest thing.
Because I haven't meant to. Like, I haven't been like, oh, like, this team stinks, I'm fading them. It just happened, and I keep getting to it, like, oh, when are you going to stop fading Arkansas? You're like, or just be like, oh, keep fading Arkansas, keep losing, blah, blah, blah.
You think the ones saying woo pig suey aren't an intelligent bunch?
They're rough. They're
I think saying go Hogs is what.
Like, LSU fans are obnoxious, but you respect them. Arkansas fans are obnoxious, and just there's not a lot going on there.
Which SEC fan base do you have the most respect
I got
for?
Arkansas 5-1 to win that regional. I took them before the Texas Tech game because I said I think they're going to beat Texas Tech, and I knew that I loved them against Oral Roberts of Florida. I don't know if they can beat Baylor, but 5-1 if they get there, it's a decent shot.
The SEC fan base I respect the most, outside of my own, probably South Carolina. I think South Carolina has the indignity of sharing a state with a dirty program in football, but if South Carolina goes 0-11 next year, Williams-Brice Stadium will be sold out.
That's what impressed me too.
And they just know their role.
But they long for success, and they sometimes get it. They've won baseball national championships. They won 2 of those. They won a women's basketball national championship. So they're a decent the Final Four in basketball.
They've had some football flashes in the last.
Yeah, Spurrier 2010. They beat Alabama.
5 straight 10-win seasons.
They're a better program athletically all around than you think, and I think they're a very grounded fan base. Like, Auburn fans are delusional idiots. Alabama fans never went to school there, can't find Tuscaloosa on a map. Tennessee fans are the worst fans in America. Georgia fans are Tennessee fans at a country club.
Florida.
LSU fans are drunk all the time. Florida fans wear jeans, shorts.
Florida.
Texas A&M fans go to sleep at night with looking at Texas stuff. Ole Miss fans, I don't have to go into that. What else? Kentucky fans.
At least we don't have cowbells.
How about Mizzou?
They're not really in the SEC.
Yeah, they were in the Big 12. And when did they make? What was that? 2012.
2012.
11?
Yeah.
12.
Because that's when A&M and because that's when Johnny won the Heisman first year. Mizzou fans, I don't know any of them. Like,
what a year!
They're nothing.
Yeah,
you remember throwing this up in every Instagram?
Oh, dude, that was like for someone like me and Owen, just like normal like suburban white kids. I mean, Johnny Manziel was our king.
He was a savior.
When I'm in college, when I was a senior, basically starting my freshman year of college, he was literally like my king. Johnny Manziel was like it. He was it.
I mean, he was something. He was,
and he literally looked like us. Like, just like a 5'11", like normal size. Like, he's not like some specimen of a human. Just like 5'11", like 190.
Yeah, just an average guy.
And just like running circles around college football.
But he was absolute lightning on a football field.
It's just unbelievable. And like to just party his ass off.
I think Johnny is probably the biggest. I thought he was going to succeed in the NFL guy. Like Tebow, when he came out, I knew he wasn't going to succeed. Like he was propped up by an incredible roster at Florida. But Johnny Johnny had Mike Evans, but Johnny wasn't propped up by an incredible roster outside of that. And I thought Johnny was going to get the NFL and was going to be hell to pay for everybody. And it just no.
There's still a part of me that
want it.
believes if he had his head on straight that he could have been like solid.
But there's still a part of me that believes like if somebody takes a chance on Johnny this year, maybe he can recap. Like I will never. I'll be 50 years old saying
I
that.
pay attention to social media. I think he's packed it in.
Oh, it's packed in.
He's
for
already
sure.
he's already doing podcasts saying how he regrets how he didn't take it more serious.
Yeah, I've listened to those. They're sad.
Like
That
the one
is
he just
sad.
did when Mike Stud. They started their own called
Yeah.
Ball Don't Lie, and he literally was telling about how bad he felt about like to Mike Evans and like the A&M coaches that second year after he won the Heisman, that he just was like such an asshole and just like didn't give it as much as he should have when all his other teammates were giving it everything.
Tucker Knight says South
Sad.
Carolina fans literally throw trash on other teams' players. I don't think that's true. And B, every college fan base is terrible, mine included. We will excuse shitty behavior if somebody wins. We will do that. Every college fan base is capable of being complete assholes. We'll want a coach fired for not doing something we liked. We'll if a kid transfers, we throw dirt on the kid. College fan basery is basically one of the biggest forms of assholishness there is in the world.
For sure.
And I'm guilty of
Especially
it.
in the recruiting
Ben Mintz is guilty of it. Big F's
sure
guilty
I'm
of it.
definitely guilty of it.
Like if when I throw shade on Arkansas's fan base, the Arkansas message boards will say something today. Oh, he hates Arkansas. Yeah, I hate every fan base because they're stupid. The fan being a fan in itself, one fan is great. When you get a collection of fans together to become a fan base, groupthink happens. Shitty things happen. College fan bases are some of the worst things in sports.
I like that you stay away from the recruiting stuff because I think the worst part is getting on the 17 and 18-year-olds.
I stay away
You
from the
stay away
recruiting.
from that. I do too.
I stay away from the recruiting.
That's the
I
worst.
Absolutely, I can't stand recruiting.
I just like getting excited about all the guys that Ohio State poaches.
Well, yeah, you can do that. Like Alabama, Clemson, Ohio State get whoever they want every single
We have the
year.
number one quarterback out of Texas.
Meanwhile, what's his name? He's got a funny name, right?
Quinn
Ewers.
Yeah.
So then
Decommitted from Texas, flipped to Ohio State.
there are 3 programs in football that get who they want: Alabama, Clemson, Ohio State. Then there are 30 more programs that convince themselves they get who they want. Tennessee fans convince themselves they have a top 15 recruiting class every single year because their recruiting reporters lie to them. College football.
I feel like Georgia gets a lot of who they want, but they don't always take advantage of it.
Well, they just have
they're in the middle
a
of the
great
line.
recruit. They've changed the cost of doing business in the Southeastern Conference. Georgia gets who they want. They just have a bad coach.
Did Pickens tear his? Did I hear something? Pickens
George
tore
Pickens tore his ACL.
That's
And
horrible.
Georgia,
That's horrible.
prior
That
to him
sucks.
tearing his ACL, was my pick to win the national
Yeah, I remember
championship
you
this
talking
year. I think they're going to be Notre Dame of 2021, where they get to the playoff and people don't expect them to. But now that George Pickens is out, I don't know. I'll have to. Of course, they still have a group of 4- and 5-star wide receivers, so don't cry for Georgia. Let's see what else.
Syracuse, Houston.
I like Syracuse.
I'll get to
a ton in
Syracuse,
that
Houston right after. You know what? That's going to be a shitty offensive game.
one. 140 is a high total. It's
Hold
like
on.
130. Oh, come on, bad. I'm running. Great minds think alike, Brandon.
Speaking of shit,
Huh.
Dude wipes.
dude wipes. Speaking of assholes, thank you.
Rectums.
Rectums,
Sphincters.
anuses,
Taints.
Ole
Turd
Miss
cutters.
fans.
I did use dude wipes earlier, and they were great.
Hemorrhoids.
We have them right there in the executive bathroom.
Yeah, I know. I used,
Jeff.
Balloon knots.
Okay.
I used the non-scented one.
No, I saw you. You checked a few bathrooms. You were looking for the mint chill.
No, I was upstairs because I had a podcast thing to do.
Oh, gotcha,
But
gotcha.
they were. I liked it.
Upstairs, sneaky great place to go. Especially, not a lot of upstairs people here
Well,
these
before
days.
dude wipes, it was actually a sacrifice you had to make because it was whether you wanted to poop downstairs with, I mean, you could run into people, or
Yeah.
you could go to the privacy of the upstairs, but it was worse toilet paper. Now you got dude wipes.
Now you got dude wipes. We don't need that
Solving
dry,
the world's
scratchy
problems.
toilet paper. Treat your bum with care and respect. Dude wipes. Go to dudewipes.com. Code WALK15 for 15% off your entire order. They're also at Target. They're all over the place. Amazon. Check them out. Mr. Cricky says, Brandon, you look handsome today. This crew should be the permanent crew for Pick Central. Stick free without the bench mob boys is nice. I didn't say half of that, but I did like that Brandon is handsome today. That's why I read the comment. Actually, he figured it out. That guy figured out the algorithm. Compliment Brandon first.
And then you could say
Then you say whatever the fuck you want. You say whatever you want. I usually try not to read insults because insults come in for everybody.
Yeah.
I try not to read them, but he figured out the algorithm. He compliment Brandon. He's going to read it.
And then you
say
can
what
get
you want.
anything, whatever you want through
it's
next.
a digital poop dollar.
That's exactly
You
what it
reach
is.
down for the dollar, the compliment, and then there was some shit in there, but
Let's see.
There's an NBA trade. The Thunder are trading George Hill to the Sixers.
That means they're not going to get Kyle Lowry then.
Probably.
What they wouldn't get George Hill and Kyle Lowry.
I think they might.
Also, Toronto has traded Norm Powell to Portland for Gary Trent and Rodney Hood.
Rodney Hood, Meridian, Mississippi, played a year at Mississippi State and then played at Duke. Fuck him. What? Yeah, nothing exciting there. All right, pick me up again. Houston, Syracuse. Houston -6 against Syracuse. What? And you're right. This total is 139.5.
Way
That's
high.
Syracuse. Houston couldn't score against Rutgers.
Houston struggled against Memphis to score a lot.
Houston
too.
can't score. And they're playing the Syracuse zone. I know they got a week to prepare for it, but I love Syracuse to win the game. I love Syracuse. Why is it Houston -6? I would figure this would be almost a pick 'em because Syracuse is so hot.
Just power.
I'll take the points in the under probably.
You'll take Houston.
No.
Oh, okay. I see. So
Houston,
you like Syracuse in the under.
Mm-hmm.
It feels like it's going to be a very public
But I
pair
also
of sides.
I don't take unders in March Madness, so I'll take just Syracuse.
I don't respect Houston very much, and maybe that's my mistake. They might make me look stupid. I thought Rutgers should have beat them.
Good, but
I think Houston's one of those teams that they're awesome at kicking the crap out of horrible teams. Like in the American, they run it up like they did at Cleveland State first round. They won by like 37. They're great at blowing out bad teams. They held them to 36% field goal percentage. But anytime they step up in competition against teams that can play defense, they can't shoot. And if you can't shoot that well, you don't beat the Syracuse zone. So I like Syracuse too.
What about you? You've been quiet on this game.
No, Cuse. It almost seems too obvious, but I won't let myself. I won't talk myself out of taking Cuse. Because Houston was a team, I said they were frauds all year.
Yeah.
And then for some reason I took them against Rutgers, and I hated it. And I've been a Rutgers guy all year. Well, really, it was just in the draft. I wanted Rutgers. They got taken early. I was like, fuck it, I'll take Houston. Little contrarian.
It should have made, and I took them. I had Rutgers in the.
I know.
That should have gotten me part of that Bitcoin.
It's true.
Yeah, y'all took
a real tough.
That was a shrewd pick. Like everybody else kind of looked in their teams. I picked Rutgers. It was going to work, and they blew it. Damn it, TJ.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I felt horrible for TJ because Rico sitting next to me to show me his live slips on Houston.
I was sitting on the front row, and
I was like, oh god.
At I think it was 60 to 52 or maybe 50 to 42. 8 minutes left. Dave looks over and says, "Bet Houston money line right now." And I said, "I can't."
Rico did it. He got plus like 450 twice.
Memphis gave Houston trouble, and they suck. I don't think Memphis sucks, but they're not great.
Either.
We can do picks. We have 3 minutes left.
We have 3 minutes left?
Yeah, we'll do
Time flies
Sunday's
when you're having fun,
leads.
boys.
Yeah, we'll do Friday. We'll do Sunday's games tomorrow. All right, I got Heat -4 against the Blazers. Sixers -5.5 against the Lakers. I'm staying away from the Knicks game. I had it written down. Syracuse +500 to make the Final Four. In the NIT, Western Kentucky money line to beat. Oh, it's on my card. Leave it there. Knicks -3 then. I hate it, though. I hate it. Knicks -3, Syracuse +500, Western Kentucky money line, and Memphis -4 against Boise State. Ben Mintz. Who's next? Ben Mintz.
I just have the Knicks. I might add some NIT picks later, but it's hard. It's hard for me to judge the NIT on the motivation thing. It's not easy.
Boy, time flew by today. That's a mark of a good show. Go ahead, Big Ev.
Knicks -3, Sixers -6, Warriors +3.
Yeah, I love Sixers -6. It's a good time to fade the Lakers with everybody out. Knicks -3 just scares the shit out of me, though.
I'm just going to play it anyway.
But you got to play it, right?
Loyal fan.
And then
Nick up.
Mr. 9-0. You need a nap? What's going on?
Knicks under 224.5. Western Kentucky -115 money line.
Just 2 picks.
Yes.
You're protecting your undefeated mark?
No, I thought I was 8-0, so I had 2 picks to try and go 10-0, but now it's 9.
Gotta go for 11 then.
Yeah, I wanted an even number.
Let's see. Sam Irwin says, "Great shirt, Brandon. This group should add Gottlieb, and it'd be perfect." Well, he's a college basketball expert. I mean, he knows what he's talking about. He came across likable in that trivia to me.
No, he didn't.
Yeah, he did.
No, he didn't.
He played along. He let Rico shit talk him.
I don't think so. And this is not even me being like a Rico stint, even though Rico is my guy. I think he still came off like kind of a cocksucker.
I don't think so. I thought he came across very, very likable. I mean, Rico, first of all, Gottlieb didn't steal Rico's credit cards. I don't know why Rico's still mad at that.
It's principle. You guys are klepto.
Yeah, that was 20 years ago.
I'm just saying, all taking aside.
I believe in second chances in life.
I thought he looked like a dick still. Not even a dick, just more like just like not a guy I'd want to hang out with.
I thought Rico stood up and got his shots off, and I respected that about Rico. He didn't change.
He had some great one-liners.
He had some great one-liners, but Gottlieb stood in there and took. He's like a batter getting in the batter's box, knowing a 90-mile-an-hour fastball is coming, and he just stood right in there.
He took it and didn't really give any back besides the network comment, which I thought was a weak comeback. And then of course, I mean, I did carry Gottlieb to the win. I was incredible. I knew everything about college basketball. What do you want to say now? No, nothing. No, I just don't think Gottlieb was like a likable guy. Let's see. It's split on chat. Nicholas Wallach says Gottlieb is a dweeb. Dean Johnson says Doug came across so likable. So yeah, there it is. I like Doug even more. Big Ev is 100% right. Gottlieb came off like a jerk, so it's 100% split in the chat. He said it right. Dweeb. He came off like a dweeb. Dweeb was the right word. He just came he just wasn't a guy I'd want to hang out with. Dweeb's such a good word. I thought it fit his performance. Dweeb. If you get called a dweeb like that, you almost can't say no, because if you're going so hyper specific to say a dweeb. No, it fits him perfect. Because listen, all right, we get it. He answered all the questions right. He was smart, cool, but he still was not likable, in my opinion. All right, y'all want to run it back tomorrow? Good. Let's run it. We'll run back same crew tomorrow. Pick Central. The Yak is up next.